It's a very interesting question. What if you're wrong? And often when the religious ask, say, atheists this question, it's supposed to be this show-stopping epiphany moment. What if you're wrong?
This is probably going to be the most simplest one for you to answer, but what if you're wrong?
And in reality, most atheists, rationalists, whatever you want to call us, we ask ourselves that about all of the things that we hold dear and consider true fairly regularly. What if you're wrong doesn't really generally phase an atheist, because we ask ourselves that all the time.
Well, what if I'm wrong? I mean, anybody could be wrong. We could all be wrong about the flying spaghetti monster and the pink unicorn and the flying teapot. You happen to have been brought up, I would presume, in the Christian faith. You know what it's like not to believe in a particular faith because you're not a Muslim, you're not a Hindu. Why aren't you a Hindu? Because you happen to have been brought up in America, not in India. If you'd been brought up in India, you'd be a Hindu. If you were brought up in Denmark in the time of the Vikings, you'd be believing in Wotan and Thor. If you were brought up in Central Africa, you'd be believing in the great Juju up the mountain.
If you're a human being and you live on this planet, almost certainly in your lifetime at some point, you have been dead wrong. You thought something was fucking absolutely true and you bet the bank on it, and it turned out it was dead fucking wrong. And perhaps you never even realized it, you know, perhaps you never knew. If you're a human being and you're watching this right now, chances are very good that it's almost 100% guaranteed there's something that some concept you hold, you consider true, that is fucking wrong, that is false. Absolutely false. Right now, something that you think is true is not. And in my approach to making my last video, I was certainly wrong about a few things. Now, in my last video I made, I talked about the air show and how the pilot is 74 years old, and how people seem to be afraid to consider that the age may have caused the accident. Okay, you know what? In that sense, I definitely absolutely was not wrong to consider that perhaps it was his age. And also, I wasn't wrong in saying that people seem to be afraid to consider it. But in presenting my video, I seem to at the same time conclude that indeed, that 100% was the reason that caused the crash. His age was for sure the cause. I think I definitely did. That was wrong. I don't know for sure if that's what caused it. I don't even know what the percentages are. All I know is some of you got way bent onto shape. Some of you were just like, oh gee, you think you might be wrong about this one. I appreciate those comments. I appreciate all the comments. Some of you guys got bent the fuck way out of shape, like accusing me of ageism. Oh gee, you're an ageist. Like, okay, investigators who are investigating the crash, okay, are considering age among one of the chief reasons that may have caused the crash. Mark Rosekind, a member of the National Transportation Safety Board, said that ages of the pilot and the plane, how the plane had been modified, its maintenance records, and the race's safety procedures and mechanical failure are all being considered right now as they investigate this crash. It's funny how ageism is, because if you're looking at a plane crash, or like say one of these air shows, okay, among the possibilities of what could have caused it, age can cause an air crash. Age, you can be too old to fly a plane. That is possible. Right? It's a little bit different than being a racist, isn't it? What if I got on here and I was like, well, the guy was black. Him being black caused the fucking accident. Caused a plane crash. Obviously, patently, you'd be able to recognize right on the surface that being black cannot cause a pilot to crash. It can't happen. It's not a possibility. But you sure as fuck can be too old to fly a plane. It can happen. And no matter how old you are and you're watching this video right now, there'll be a moment in your life where you too, and me, and everyone watching this, there'll be a moment when you're too fucking goddamn old to fly a plane. There will be a moment, oh, unless you die before then, but there will be a moment when you're too fucking goddamn old to drive a car, unless you die before that moment. But the older you get, the less things you can do. This is a fact. This isn't ageism. Let's talk about the crash. Because after I looked into it a little bit, I discovered that my thinking has changed now. I say that by the time this investigation is over with, they're going to come to the conclusion that it was not the age of the pilot that caused the crash. The main issue that caused this crash is probably going to be the modifications made to the plane. It's the guy's insatiable desire to be faster, make his plane better, work on it more, and he was getting so into it, he started to skip steps. He started to not test things as much as he should have. He's making modifications and not fully testing the plane out. he had made a dangerous plane. By the time that plane was flying in that air show on that day, that plane was pretty dangerous. Because as it turns out, Mr. Leeward, Mr. Jimmy Leeward, had a YouTube channel. Right here on YouTube, you can go to his channel right now and take a look. And he's, in the last video that he made, he's talking about crazy modifications made to his plane, and how he wishes he could test it more, but oh well, we'll see on Saturday at the race. And then he crashed it right into a fucking crowd of spectators. Hold on, my phone's going off. Give me 1 second. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you guys with video of Mr. Leeward himself talking about getting ready for his race. I'm talking about the modifications made to his plane, and then you decide. Until the investigation's done, none of us really know what the deal was. And as far as the races themselves go, people were on there saying, "You want to stop the races!" I don't give a shit about your races. Honestly, I really don't. I don't have anything against them. It's just I'm not into it. I can't imagine wanting to go to a race show where you watch planes fly around in a circle for however long. I just can't imagine doing that or wanting to see that. It's like NASCAR. I can't imagine wanting to go and sit in the hot sun and watch a bunch of cars drive around in a circle over and over again for like 4 hours. Fuck that. And in the same breath, I don't care if you go to these air shows. I don't give a shit, okay? Sure, these are dangerous shows, and people are pointing out wanting to stop the races because of the danger. Everybody knows those things are fucking dangerous, and it's true. There's been like 7 pilots that have died this year, and some of the other pilots that are being interviewed are saying things like, "We're air show pilots. We live for fucking... We live to be extreme, and we know that the risk, we can hit the ground at any moment, we can fly into a building, that's why we do it, we love it, ooh, get some!" But not the people on the ground. The people on the ground didn't sign up for the dangerous life we live. Hoorah! They didn't sign up for it, so they shouldn't have gotten killed, and this is different, and maybe there should be certain things that happen because of that, and okay, well, whatever. Those people that bought the tickets to that air show knew very good and goddamn well what those are unsafe events. If you don't have any clue of that, then you should be looking into things that you're into a little bit more. Everybody understands those shows are dangerous. Not just to the pilots. This isn't completely different. July 27th, 2002, 77 people were killed and 543 were injured after a military jet flew into a crowd of spectators and exploded at an air show at the Skinliv Air Base in Ukraine. 70 people were killed during an air show at the United States Air Base in Ramstein, West Germany, when 3 jets from an Italian stunt flying team collided and crashed into a crowd. Hundreds among the spectators were severely injured. 70 dying, okay? These are since the year 2000. This is not like it never happens. If you buy a ticket to an air show, you should know that you might die. You might get hit with a fucking plane that crashes into the crowd. And in fact, you're probably statistically far more likely to die going to an air show event than any other sport that we go to and like going to. I mean, realistically. But also, you're likely to die if you drive down the road. I don't know. It's up to the person who wants to go to the air show race, whether they want to take the risks that are involved with going to the air show race. It's not up to me. I'm not going to try and stop the air show races. I don't give a fuck about your air show races. I don't care. It's not something I'm into. Fucking send me a fucking PM telling me about what I'm missing out on and how I should go to air show races. I'll read it and consider it. But at this point in time, I don't go to them because I don't care, because I don't give a shit. So yeah, that's what's on my mind about that. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that some of you got so angry at that last video. Just remember, I've made this point 100 times. All of us are people with varying opinions about life and everything else. We're not going to have all the same likes and interests in every single thing else. And because of that, that does not mean that we can't still be friends and listen to each other and watch our videos and whatever else. When I made that video, I lost like 28 subscribers for making that video. Like immediately lost, like just lost them, like 30 subscribers or something. And I likes to make the point once again, we shouldn't fucking censor ourselves about everything because we're worried about fucking losing subscribers. And at the same time, we shouldn't unsubscribe every time we disagree with one thing someone says about something. Fucking watch and enjoy like 15 videos by a person, then they make one where we disagree. Unsubscribe! Unsubscribe! Okay. Whatever. I don't give a shit, really. I mean, I do, sort of, because in the sense that I don't want to piss my subscribers off, necessarily, but you guys should know that if you watch my videos, at some point you're going to be pissed at something that I have to say about something. At some point, you're not going to like what I have to say. Be prepared. just to let you know, be prepared. So I'll catch you guys in the next video, hopefully. Hopefully. And I'll leave you with Mr. Leeward. Mr. Leeward, take it away, homie. Tell us what you've done to endanger the crowd at the race you're about to go to.
The airplane looks quite a bit different than it did at Cleveland. Most obvious, we cut 10 feet off the wings, 5 feet off each side, which brings the ailerons down to like 32-inch ailerons versus about 60-inch ailerons. The handle's a little bit different at slow speeds. The landing speed is extremely, it's equivalent to between the MiG-17 and the MiG-21 as far as landing speed. And to do it right, to control the airplane in the wind and in the different circumstances, if anything happens, you need those type of speed. You need jet speeds. The other thing would be the scoop on the bottom. We've taken the entire scoop, oil cooler, everything off the bottom, flattened it. It's a shame that we didn't go up and actually test the airplane with the scoop on. Didn't go up and actually test the airplane. Didn't go up and actually test the airplane. And we had to win Thursday, Friday, Saturday to make it into the goal race on Sunday. So we did it pretty handily, and we just went fast enough to pass everybody. We really didn't show what we had, really didn't want to show what we had, and still don't want to say what we have. And we really know it can go, 7 or 8 laps. I know the speed. I know it'll do the speed. The systems aren't proven yet. We think they're going to be okay.
Holy shit!
Oh my God, there's people in here. Oh my God. Okay, folks, please stay where you are. We've got emergency. We have emergency crews.
Holy shit! See that? He crashed. Holy shit!